People are goddamn adults and can eat and drink on their own. Yeah, this is the other thing is like, I'll say some people, when I say that, I'm like, hey, people are adults. Creators are adults. And you can, you know, if something's wrong, if they're affected by something bad, whether it's medical or otherwise, and you think they need help, don't stop. If you're not their friend, don't get involved. Just don't get involved. You're crossing a line that you don't need to cross, a boundary where now you're getting yourself involved. It's for your own sake. It's not just because that's like bad for them or something. It's for your own sake. You should not get invested in anyone like that unless they're like really in your life in person. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not your responsibility, right? And the thing is, I worry that people in chats, people in communities will, you know, out of genuine concern, they always mean well. Like this is usually not well-intentioned, not poorly intentioned at all, right? It's always like they mean well. They get upset over it, right? They feel bad for this person and they worry for them and they start giving a little bit of advice to try and help. And once you give that advice and you get involved, some people get like emotionally tied to it, right? They start to feel really emotionally invested and they think it's just giving a little advice, but it always snowballs. I've never not seen it snowball, to be honest. Even if it's just a little bit, it snowballs until you check that person or that person just keeps going. It's never a good situation on either side. And yeah, and then they get upset. It upsets them when that person's upset or they see that person's situation that they're not able to help and they get anxiety. And I'm like, stop. Stop. So for your own sake, don't do that stuff. No matter how well-intentioned you are, don't give other people advice unless you know them for real. And even then, drop you should talk to someone about this. You should talk to, you know, a doctor, a therapist, a lawyer, a whatever. You say that, you don't get into it, you know? It's just not good for you. It'll cause you nothing but stress. And it ain't worth your time. You look tired, you should go to bed. Actual chatters on Twitch. Oh, I know. You guys will see me, so I'll flame people a little, like, extra hard. When people do that in my chat, I'll, like, make fun of them. It's not that thing that they said bothered me that much and that I'm worked up over it. It's the idea that by doing this occasionally, anyone who was thinking of doing it will hold back. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, someone just did this to a bigger extent. I'm going to use them as a reminder, right? Let's go. It's always that, and it keeps it so that this chat, when people come here, they know that's not the vibe, and they keep it in check before they say anything, right? And it's good. It's good. It's very healthy. It's super healthy. No one tries to remind me to do shit. That's like basic stuff. Like no one does. And that's great. I don't want you guys doing that because like, number one, I don't want to hear it. Number two, I don't want you guys to be in the habit of doing that to people online. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Maybe pose an innocent question rather than make a declaration. Probably not even that far. Yeah, don't even do that. And it's not that anyone should be bothered because they think your intention's bad or think you're a fucking idiot or something like that. It's not that. It's that you should just never poke that, right? It's just not worth it. Not everyone does that irresponsibly. There are some people that can remind someone to do something like drink water and not get emotionally invested. There are absolutely people that will be fine, but we don't know you guys personally on that level to know what kind of individual user you are, right? Like I don't know you guys all well enough to see a username that tells me to drink water and know if that person's going to get emotionally invested or not. If I'm like, oh, thank you. Wow, you watered me. Haha. Right? Like, I just don't know, and I would never really be able to know. So the best thing is just throw a blanket over it and be like, nobody does this, right? But yeah, it's just, I don't know. To me, I personally would feel irresponsible letting people do that. And then, you know, if a couple of them did get super invested, I'd be like, oh, well, it's been happening and I allowed it. Yeah, that's how I would personally feel. Nah, I mean, before giving advice, drop a little, would you like some advice? Yeah, that's the thing. It's different if someone asks for it. Always, right? It's like the no helpers versus please help thing when people are playing games. It's like, don't give any advice or tips, but then the moment the streamer's like, guys, how do I do this? That's an open invitation and that's fine. You can just be like, oh, I'm just answering a question. That's like, you know, there's no weird boundary there because they open that up. And that's fine. That's fine. I don't know. I've just been like watching some streams where I've been seeing some people get real invested and I'm like, all right, guys, let's back up. And I had one streamer friend recently was telling someone in their chat, hey, you don't have to remind me to drink water. Like, I'm an adult. And then that person, I don't remember the exact sentence they said, so it's not this verbatim, but that person said something along the lines of, well, even if I don't remind you to, you know, drink water or whatever, there's other stuff I have to remind you to do too. Like, it's basically, they were saying like, it's clear this person acts like a baby. And I was like, what? They were basically like, they were trying to say it nicely. There was like a heart emoji in there, you know, like a love emoji. And it was just like, they were trying to be cute about it. And I was like, you basically just told this creator that they're a child and stupid. and that use some username that they don't really know, they just see in their chat occasionally, are like necessary for their survival. I was like, what are you doing? It was just such a weird moment. I was like, what is happening? I just didn't even know what to say. My friend like wasn't aware that I was in the chat. I was lurking and I was about to flame the guy, but like I saw Mod just ban them and be like, shut the fuck up. And I was like, okay, we're good. I don't know. It's crazy. If they needed personal assistants, they'd hire them, you know? It's just insane. People like to babysit, baby their streamers, which I always find odd. Yeah, I think that's another thing, right? All those jokes of like, ooh, streamer's stupid, haha, and they tease the streamer, paired with, oh, don't forget to drink water, paired with blah, blah, blah. Right? There are all these little things that create, when you put them all together, these dynamics where a lot of people in the chat, number one, don't respect the streamer, number two, actually think they're a useless baby. It's just this scenario that's bad, because then when things, you know, when push comes to shove and that person has to get up there and make like a real public statement about something serious, or they have to turn to their chat and very seriously be like, guys, I need you to stop doing XYZ thing because blah, blah, blah. It makes that people don't take them seriously. They expect that the moment they like kind of drop the persona a little bit and just be like, hey guys, I know this is usually the bit, but we need to stop. And people they're just like, oh, whatever. And I'm like, whoa. Yeah, the himbo joke to actually stupid pipeline. It's a perfect example, yeah. I know, I've just been seeing it more and I'm like, what is happening? For some streamers, it's their main bit to act like that. And that's what I'm saying. It's just like, that's what it leads to, no matter what. I'm not saying the fault is only on the viewers, right? Like, it's definitely when you're a streamer, you know what you're encouraging, and you see how people treat you, and it's just kind of like up to you if you want to allow that or not. Because some people will just suffer through it. Some people will be like, yeah, but my chat likes this and this keeps people around, and I don't get bothered enough by it to stop doing it, so I won't, right? And that's fine too, because everyone has their own kind of bandwidth for stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. Stuff like that, I'm like, And it doesn't mean you can't, you know, engage with every bit. It just means that, like, there will always be a portion of people that get way too into it, even if you allow a little bit of it. But thankfully, we don't have, like, any of that here, so... It's so chill. It's so chill, man. Yeah, Nags, right. I like the way Nags handles stuff, because he doesn't... I hate seeing people, like, over-explain themselves, or they defend themselves. Someone says something in chat about, well, I think, and then the streamer will start, like, rebutting. No, Nags is like, no, shut up. And they're like, but I think whatever. And he's like, but I... and then hits the timeout button, you know? And it's so, like, refreshing, right? There he is. I don't know. I just feel like it should be that simple in a lot of situations, right? Can't hugbox chatters forever. Yeah, that's one of the things that's hardest about, like when I was a really small streamer and my community was growing. You know, when you have a tiny community, you do know a lot of people individually. I was hanging out in VCs and stuff a lot, and it was the same people, so of course I know them a bit more. And I don't know, over time as you grow, there's some people that you might give like a little more leeway for certain things because you actually have been exposed to them more, like sort of on a personal basis. But you just gotta stop at some point. You gotta be like, I can't allow this anymore. So I had to have talks with some people and be like, yo, we're going like this moving forward, and that's it. And just kind of establishing that. And some people didn't handle that well and needed to go. And I was like, okay, well, it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen, man. It's hard doing that transition as things grow, for sure. That's when the you change starts. Yeah, you changed. No, I'm sorry, I just can't let you as another chatter say things to me that other chatters can't say. That's it, right? That's it. Plain and simple. Or like, hey, I know you've been here for a long time. It doesn't mean you're the owner and czar of the community just because you've been here longer than someone else. You have to be just as respectful to everyone else as you would be to someone who's been around for a long time. There's no seniority, right? And it just, stuff like that is just hard to explain to some people. Some people just don't absorb that.